So the next presentation will be from Shahar, right? Welcome to start.
Well, just to introduce myself, I've been involved in the biometric business for only the last 8 years, but it looks like all the years that biometrics is in the world. Although biometrics is a very ancient industry of reading fingerprint by the police and things like that, probably 200 years old or something. Lately, the biometric market of getting into access control, getting into usable tools for people to go into their phone or to their bank account is just picking up, and being there 8 years ago is almost from the beginning. What I can tell you is that there's a lot of trends in the market that make biometrics what it is today and what it's growing into, and the trends are very familiar to all of us. We think the terror, and I'll explain why is it connecting. We see fraud, we see a crime, and we see urbanization. Big cities, growing cities, nobody knows anyone, and then you do want to know people, and people need to be known. And the thing that was used lately in the last 10, 20 years were cards, meaning that my card is myself. When you use an ATM card, that card means it's you. And if you use somebody else's card, it's you again, the other card. Biometrics is always you. And you are the key to all the things that do biometrics. And it's here because of the convenience and because of the security of using biometrics. And I'm going to talk about the problem of using biometrics as a security key because there is risk in it. So what I can say is that we're talking about privacy here in the conversation, and biometrics is a fact that being put into the market and people are using it now much more than 8 years ago, but you can see hundreds, or I would say over 60% of the population is already using biometrics in some kind of way, even if it's just opening their phone or using it over the internet or getting into applications and things like that. And because it's happening, now we need to protect and find out what's the problem, where are the weak points of biometrics. And the weak points is what I want to talk about, is what is called presentation attack, meaning you present a biometric figure for somebody else. It could be a picture for face recognition. It could be a fingerprint printed on some material that you can use instead of a fingerprint. But presentation attack means cheating the system. It's called spoofing the system or fraud. All that is being done by usually simple technology methods of how to fool. And when we're talking about biometrics, an important thing that needs to be put in all biometric systems is how to protect it from presentation attack. And what I would say that doing presentation attack is very simple on biometric system. It's simpler than people can think about, and you can read over in the internet. But what presentation attack doesn't take into consideration is not what the computer sees as a 2D picture of your fingerprint or your face, is the next level of behavior. Because even people, when they put their finger on a fingerprint reader, each one does it in a specific way to himself, if it's be a different angle that he comes to put the finger, or how fast he puts the finger, what's the pressure he puts on the finger. And behavioral is something that we will not be able to spoof very soon, or to create a presentation attack. We have the tools now, what is called deep learning, to understand what is the behavioral of the person and not what is the biometric. And behavioral is a part of the new biometrics that needed to be introduced into the biometric world. Meaning if I see a face, it's not a face on a picture, it's face on a live person if it behaves exactly like the same person behaved the last time he behaved. So adding this kind of biometric or behavioral biometric to all biometrics, it doesn't matter if you're sitting next to your computer, it's even worth because you have enough time to try all kind of spoofing attacks when you're sitting in front of a computer, or when you're walking into an access point or into a bank, or using it on your cell phone. We need to add another layer of protection, of anti-fraud, in order to biometrics actually be brought into the market in a very broad and full way that we can see what biometrics will bring. Just a small story about talking about privacy, but what I'm saying is that biometrics eventually is coming in because it's convenient and safe. And this morning I just parked in the parking lot outside, And as I walk out of the car, I get an email. The email says, if you press this link, your bill for the parking lot will be paid. I didn't even tell them I went into the parking lot. The camera actually read the number for my car, went to Pango, and they sent me an email saying, we know you're in this parking lot. Well, I didn't tell them that I'm releasing my privacy, but it's very convenient, so I don't care. Thank you very much.
So essentially what you're saying is, in the privacy world, it's always a dial that we have to turn. It's a trade-off between protecting our privacy and gaining the convenience.
Correct.
Very, very true.